Happy Friday. Boom, 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 boom. Guys, what's happening? Happy Friday. So today I got a very important show. We keep working our butts off on where to enter the markets. What coins are we getting into? Guys, we are definitely at the phase now where we're starting to see, the parabolic stage is very near. The stage where we really start to accelerate within the market. And I kind of feel that we're exiting the hope stage. I kind of feel that everyone's hoping that the bull market was there. And I feel that the closer we get now to an all-time high break, we are getting out of that phase. And we're actually going to get into the optimism, belief, thrill phase, where the market really starts to accelerate really quickly. And what you start to see is the banana effect, right? Where it starts off slow and starts to accelerate really quickly. So in the show, what I want to speak about is the targets. Let's speak about it. Is Bitcoin going to 200K? Is it going to 100K? How are we going to know? What tools are we going to use? Is Ethereum going to $10,000? Is Solana going to $1,000? I'm going to go through all the altcoins that you guys have asked for. I sent a tweet out 2 days back and I said, guys, what coins do you want me to chart on the high time frame? And I'm going to be showing you guys all the tools that you are going to use to see how far and how high these coins can actually go and where the hell are you going to get out of them. So I feel that we've had so many weeks now to enter the market. You guys should be loaded, okay? And if you are not loaded, you should be getting loaded and making sure your bags are packed. You're about to go on a trip. You don't want to get halfway there and you forgot your phone charger at home. You don't want to forget then you forgot the socks. How many times have we done this on a trip? I've done it and I hate it. Okay, I hate that I leave the little things out. So make sure the bags are packed, the toothbrush is in, the toothpaste, the shampoo, everything is ready for the rockets to go. And now it's time to feel, okay, where are we taking profits on this thing? How much money am I here to make within crypto? What is my plan and what are we doing? So if you're excited about that, smash that like button, guys. Again, it is Friday and I bring vibes. You know what I do. So thank you for being here and let's have a fantastic show. Let me load up. Let me find my intro. Guys, I need an intro. Can you please send, I'm going to put an email below in the description. Please send me some cool videos. I want intros. I want like cool sniper intros, cool stuff. Please, if there's anyone talented out there that wants to help your trading dog out, please help me out. Okay, no wasting time. Let's go. Sunday. What? It's Friday. Hope you got your beers, guys. It's beer o'clock. It's beer o'clock. It's beer o'clock. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Brand to the channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button, guys. Again, I want the best community here. I want you guys rolling in the chats. This is a strong recording for you guys. I will be traveling at the time this posts. But I think this is going to be one of a banging show. It's going to show you a few things. So the big thing is let's quickly speak about, what's happening now. So, we're going into a new phase of a bull market, right? And we've obviously seen the Bitcoin explosion, the ETF. We've got a lot more money than what we've ever had within crypto. But however, it did start with Bitcoin. So over a couple of months, we saw the rise of dominance. We saw how Bitcoin just grew really quickly. And we even got to a point where Bitcoin started to outperform many tokens. I think Bitcoin's outperformed Cardano. I think it's outperformed, many of these other tokens. It's definitely outperformed. However, you do get the different phases. So once the hype is done within Bitcoin, you usually have hype within the halvings and things like that. We obviously had the ETF time this time. But then you start to get to a phase where ETH becomes the next topic. And then after that, altcoins become the next topic. And you start to get into the phase. So think about it psychologically. Bitcoin hypes up the market first, brings in the real money. Brings in the billions and billions and billions of dollars, right? Brings money into the market. Then it starts to diversify. Because if you just started with the altcoin rally first, you're going to get money in, you're going to get a lot of retail in, but not a lot of money. Let's be realistic. The altcoin market is way smaller than what the Bitcoin market is. Bitcoin is sitting around 45% of the entire, no, it's more, 50-something% of all the money that's in crypto is sitting in Bitcoin. So ultimately, you want the cycle to start off with Bitcoin, then the ETH, then the altcoin sort of flow. So I feel we've clicked into the ETH mode now, and I think the altcoin mode is going to click in now. I feel that after that, Bitcoin will still rally strong. However, it will distribute pretty quickly. They want to get retail within the market. Smart money is buying Bitcoin, definitely. You don't have many large wallets that are just accumulating altcoins. Some of them, yes, but majority are accumulating, Bitcoin. However, the altcoins, when the altcoins rally, you start to distribute money out. This is what brings retail in. And I think people don't understand the power of retail. When you have millions and millions of people with small amounts of money coming into the market, it does play a big role. And you do end up getting extreme hype. Now, another thing that's also important is you can no longer judge tokens on bull markets. You need to judge them on bear markets. Because I believe that in a bull market, tokens get to, I would say, around 5 to 10x over their true valuation. Okay, so anytime you look at an altcoin, you got to understand that a lot of them pull back probably around 80 to 90% within the bear market. So if your coin is now at 1 billion or 2 billion market cap, realistically, its real value is about 300 million. Okay, and it doesn't sound the thing, but that's the truth of it. Because end of the day, what you're getting is you're getting a lot of hype and it's emotions. You're getting to this point where a lot of emotions are just coming into play and people are FOMOing in. And you can see here that it takes so long to get up here, but the moment you start cracking through, you do have the thrill, the belief, the euphoria, the stages of where these things flow. However, this is fake. This is not the real value. Where you need to see the real value is this is where Bitcoin bottom at around 15 to 20. Okay, and the next one, hopefully, we're going to bottom around 40, and the next one after that, 100. That's what you got to understand. So why I'm telling you this again is you must never be afraid to take profits in the cycle. Okay, if you are making killings with these coins and things like that, it's super important to take profits because you're actually selling into the non-true value of the token. Because all of them do thousands of percent on the way up, but they all come down 80, 90% in bear markets. So is that the real value? So why I'm saying that is take profits, take profits, take profits. Now, let me help you with the strategies and let's get going fully into it. Just before I start, remember, join my team below. There's a day left to join the BitGet competition. BitGet competition is in play. Remember, this is play money. Do not use any serious money. But however, I work my butt off all the time, to help you guys understand that trading became a very powerful part of my life where I could trade for things. So I'm on holiday now, I could trade for things, I could do things. However, there's a time crunch sometimes. Sometimes there's only 10 days for me to make a certain amount of money, and I want you guys to be put under a little bit of pressure. I want you to put under pressure. And this is why putting $50 or $100 into a BitGet account, use my link below, join the Sniper Club team. Remember, I am giving away money. I'm giving away $100 to 10 people that are using my link and part of my team. But end of the day, what I'm trying to do here is to say, hey, you're not just trying to learn how to make, to make a lot of money over the bull market. You're here to have a backup. If something goes wrong in your life, you know how to basically have a basic setup of trading. And if you need to make $1,000, you know how to do it. And sometimes you need to make it in 3 days. So by this, you have a couple of days now, 2-3 weeks of a competition, and you're rating yourself. You're putting yourself when I'm under pressure. I want a goal. The main goal is to not lose money. That's first step number one. And then after that, start seeing what you can achieve. So guys, you want to be a part of that, go below and join in the description. And let's jump into the market. So again, I say we're going into the optimism phase where the market starts to really push really hard to the upside, and I'll show you guys this as a sec over here. It's called a banana, right? It's called a banana, where we really start to push up. It's even like a Nike tick, Nike, where you have the slow little grind at the bottom and you start to rally incredibly fast to the upside. So you can see over here, there's many times you go through the long periods of bear and then you go into the super cycle and then you go into bear. So you can see there's the whole bear phase over there and then you go into the super cycle. So let's go through a couple of things. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys, just before I jump back into the chart here, is you got some coins that are from the last cycle. Some coins are last cycle, your Cardanos, a lot of your old ones, even things like Injective, even things like Thorchain, these are all coins that have actually done really well this cycle. Everyone thinks the new coins are going to be the only ones that do well. No, I kind of feel that there was a bunch of really good projects that launched the last cycle. I feel that they did get inflated. They got way too much money. They had to build a lot of things. And then they went through a period of not making money for a long period. And that was where the true strength came out, of is that token for real? Is that team for real? Are they still building? Are they still doing things? Therefore, the new cycle comes now, and the cherry, what do they call it? The best ones start to rise. Okay, and you can clearly see Solana's one of the best. You can clearly see, that Phantom was even one of the best at some point. You could see that if you compare them to things like Cardano and a couple of other tokens, you can see the ones that are really starting to rise. However, don't doubt the old cycle tokens, because the old cycle tokens, they've survived the bear markets. And I believe a bear market survival and thriving in the next bull, I believe that project's actually really doing something. They're actually really building. Their community is still incredibly strong and things like that. Then there's some tokens that in the old cycle that are not going to go to all-time highs this time, guys. And they're not going to go parabolic. And you need to understand that. You need to let go. You let it go. That song, right? You got to learn to let go some of the bags. And again, I'm going to show you charts today and show you tools that's going to be honest with you. You got to take that information. You can't get too hurt. If I say XRP is not going to get to where you think it's going to get. However, I will give you signs if it's giving you signs that it will get there. But you got to look at it and be realistic with yourself. Otherwise, you're going to hold your bags for too long and you're going to hold another cycle. And that sucks, guys. It sucks to get rich and poor and rich and poor and rich and poor. And I'm just not part of that anymore. So I'm going to show you all the basic tools that you need through the old coins to the new ones. The new ones are a little bit tougher because you don't have previous data. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few tricks that you can use. You don't know where this coin's going to go. You don't know. Now that you know that everything gets like 10x inflated to its true value, you don't know how high these things are going to go. So you need tools to help you with that along the journey too. And another very important thing as well, guys, is just make sure that you've split up your accounts. Your medium risk, your low risk, just put the right amount of money. Don't have 90% of your money in memes. Okay, if you started that way and you're currently one of those people, start laddering out as it makes out now and start fixing it. Okay, because you're not learning the skill here. You're going to make money in the next 9 months and you're going to suck the next 3 years. And that's the truth of it. And I don't want you to go through that phase. So make sure your money is also set in really good stages. Before I start, are you guys excited? Are you excited for the bull? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling positive? Are you feeling strong? Smash that like. Let me see. Remember, I use the like button to know if I'm doing a great job. Okay, let's jump in here. So again, if we go here, this is the emotions. Okay, now I feel that altcoins are not even at hope stage yet. Okay, I still feel that a little bit of disbelief sort of stage. I still feel they're coming to this point here and they're going to start only coming in, which remember is the next phase of the bull cycle. By the time we usually get to the altcoin rally, it's usually getting near the end of the cycle. Okay, so this is definitely in place. So now let me show you a few tricks and a few things to help you guys out with the current market and what we're looking at. So what you basically got to do is you could see that every cycle you have a high, you have a low. So every cycle, here's the Bitcoin chart. The previous high was 20K. We ended up coming down to around 3.5. Okay. After that, we then rallied all the way high to these areas over here. Now, my tool already told me that we could go there. Okay. So what you need to do, it's called the Fibonacci extension tool. Now, why I'm bringing this to your attention, because when Bitcoin goes into all-time highs now, your thoughts and your ego and stuff doesn't matter, okay? And where you think this thing is going to go, you need to have basic tools that are going to help you. And this tool helps me a lot. Now, what does this tool help me with? It basically allows me to understand that I can hold this token for a short period or a longer period of time. Secondly, what it does is when it gets to a certain stage, it tells me to do something. Okay, it tells me to do something, because the hardest thing to understand about a bull market, is you don't have to work that hard to make money. You just got to be really stingy and fussy when it comes to your entry, and you got to sit back, and when it gets to major levels, then you do something. So you're actually sitting on your hands most of the time, and then you have like some small trading accounts that are keeping busy in the day. The bear market, you're trading a little bit more daily because you're not getting offered high time swings and things like that. So it's very important for you to understand that it all comes down to working your ass off for your entries and then allowing it to do. However, there is a point you need to do something. You need to either take profits or you need to move something. You need to do something in that sense. So these strategies here help me a lot when it comes to doing that. Let's just pop the there we go. I just need to make sure I'm sharing screen. I'm the only one here today. I got no team in the background. Sheldon, one man, I'm here. Okay, so what you do, guys, is this thing called Fibonacci extension. So let me draw it out here for you quickly. So what you basically have is you have a cycle, a market cycle over here, and then you have a big bear market. And what it basically does is you get to a point of the cycle high and the cycle low. Okay, then what it does is you take this Fibonacci tool and you take it in the movement of where it was coming down, because you want to see where it's going to go next. Okay, so you always use the wave before to know where it's going to go next. And what you do is you take from the top, you take it through down to the bottom. Okay, then what it basically does is it brings up a couple of these levels. You see these levels. Now just click on here and make sure you got them. You can remove all of these ones, guys. They don't matter. Later on in the video, I'll show you, you'll bring them back for a couple of different scenarios. And for now, you don't need them, especially when it comes to your high time frame part of your portfolio. And what you're doing is you're taking all of your tokens and you're putting this up. Okay, I need you to have a roadmap of what we're basically doing. Then if you see here, you take them all off and you have 0.618, 1618, 2618, 3.618. You can type them in if you're not seeing them, and then you click it in and you see these lines. Now, what that basically represents for me, okay, is anything below this sort of 0.618, okay, is still in the bear zone territory. Okay, so it basically means that if a token goes to 618 and it doesn't get through there, it can come back down. Now, let me show you an example of that. If we go here and we go here to this previous move here. So if you had to take a Fibonacci from this move, this is where Bitcoin went from 19,000 down to 3,000, and you took a Fibonacci. This is where the 618 would lie. Do you see how we rallied up to the 618? We didn't get through it, and we ended up coming all the way back to the lows again. Okay, so firstly, in that time, if you have to look at that, Bitcoin went up 300% and came back down all the way to around 70 to 80% back down to those lows again. Okay, so now that I've showed you that, it basically means that if you don't get past 0.618, you have the risk of coming straight back down to the lows, and it's not likely you're going to go through to the next one. Okay, and the way it works here is once you get through the first one, you will then go to the next one, And if you get through the next one, you're going to go to the next one. And after that, you get to the main one. And my main one is 3.618. You even get a 4.618. Okay. And I'll show you how to track it as we get there. So now that we know that, let's quickly erase here and clean up the charts. I always have my drawings everywhere. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So let's look here. We went up, we failed. We came all the way back down. Then a few weeks later, we went back up to it and we broke it. What happened after that? We went to 1.618. What did we do? We broke it. We tested it. We went to 2.618. And the last one for me is the 3.618. This is where I'm like 90% out of a position, okay? But from here, the last one, we tapped it at the top, and guess what? It was the all-time, it was literally the top. It would have got you out at 65K, okay? 65K, beautiful. Then what happens is you're going to bear markets, and you've got to allow this bad boy to go down. You're allowed to go down and do the market cycle. What's the market cycle? It's this, right? You got to have it anxiety, denial, panic, and then it's got to get to a point where it goes sideways. Goes sideways, the anger phase, depression stage. Remember the boring stage? No one gave a crap about crypto a couple months ago until we started popping back above 20, 30K, and then everyone started to come back to life again. So that's the play of when the bear market cycle comes, and that comes down to one major trend. I'll show you. There's one major trend there, and the last cycle there was one major trend there too. That also indicated those areas. We'll chat a lot more about that when it comes. However, the cycle plays out. Then what you do is you get a low. So if you take the highs and the lows here, it now gives me my levels. So the first sign we needed from Bitcoin was we needed to get past 48,000. The first time we didn't. We rejected. We came down. Then we finally got through it. What happened then is we rallied to all-time highs. However, now that we broke 0.618, now I can open my doors to 1.618. Okay, so here we go. You guys want to know my targets for Bitcoin for this cycle? Okay, I got a few. Okay, and will they all get hit? I'll show you the tools that will help you to know if they're going to get hit or not. But nonetheless, I have my top target of around $230,000 to $210,000 for Bitcoin this cycle, as it stands right now. Okay, I got 150, I got a 200, 100, 150, and a $200,000. That is my banana effect. That is the regions we're looking at. Now we're looking at the all-time high breaks. So what that basically means is when we get to these important areas as the 1.618, it's important that we basically start to break through it. If we start to slow down here, what does it mean? It can come back to the 618. Okay, now let me show you an example of this quickly. If we go take injective. Okay, there was the last cycle high, there was the low. So you take a Fibonacci, it got past the 618. It wicked past the 618, didn't close. You can see the weekly closes were below here, and it broke back in. What did it do? It came back down to 618 over here. So remember, if you don't get through a 618, it goes to one of the 618s next. Goes to one of them there. So it gives you an understanding that we've got to get through it and turn it into support and keep going as we go. Remember, with the shows every day, I'll help you guys with this. Help you that we're getting through it, all these sort of things. Okay, so this gives you an idea of how to set your targets for the bull markets. Then what you're also doing is you're tracking it. So if you see that Bitcoin's current momentum going up now, I can put a trend line and I can track that momentum. And if we decide to go to 1.618 and go sideways and break that momentum, that's going to be a very big sign for me. Hey, there's a very big pullback coming. As an investor, I will take some profits on a bunch of coins. Okay, so let's put this out to a test to a whole bunch so I can give you guys my targets for a whole bunch of tokens. And then I'm going to be doing the tokens that you guys have asked for. So the same thing with Ethereum. Look at this. Literally the top, guys. 3.618. It would have called 4,900. The top. What did you do? Fibonacci from the top to the bottom. Gave you all your levels. The moment you got past the first, second, third, there was the next play over there. If you don't get through it, look how it comes back to the previous one. So it gives you an area of where to buy back if you take profits in these areas and these zones. So where are my targets for Ethereum? I have $7,000, $11,000, and $15,000. Okay. Again, I think we're going to banana. And remember, if this is a true bull run, we should hit the 3618. We've done it every time. We should hit it again. Okay. So the 3618. So I'm saying 15K. That's what my mind is set for and what I can prepare for it to happen. I also have 7. I also have 11. I have these in play too. Okay. We look at things like Solana. So remember, guys, tokens that get above the 618 can go to 1.61. These are tokens, especially if you have altcoins that are breaking 618s now. And I'm talking about the big weekly ones over here. It's very likely they're going to be the ones that break all-time highs and go into high territories. Okay, so Sol, here is my targets on Solana: $400, $650, and $900 on Sol. There's my targets. They are my major ranges. And again, I can now take a full trend, and you can see that there's a whole damn trend line on Sol right now. Because if you look at the previous rampage of Sol, it doesn't pull back. It goes straight for many, many, many weeks. And the moment that it does slow down off of a trend is when it comes down. So there's the momentum we're going now. I actually expect momentum to pick up at some point and start going quicker. And we will track that to the upside as we make our way to those zones. But there's my targets. Now let's get to another scenario of tokens. The tokens that may not get to all-time highs. Doesn't mean you can't make money on them. It is very important, though, that you understand that they're not going to get to all-time highs. You're not going to hold these things for too long, because remember what I told you? Any coin that does not get through 618 can come straight back down to the lows. And if you look at the percentages that you are throwing away by doing that, 800%, guys, to the upside is what AVAX did from the bottom to the top of this range if it gets there, right? And you don't want to throw that all away, as that makes its way to the downside. So as it stands now, you will see on something like AVAX, it's had a pump now, pushing down, and I'm looking at the continuation. I'm looking at a push to there. In that time, there will be a trend line that will be put into play. Okay. If we don't and we start slowing down at 618, there's nothing wrong with taking 20, 30% profits out at that stage. Okay, nothing wrong with taking some sort of, or even your initial capital out at those levels. And then you could use that to either load somewhere else, or basically if it rejects, you can buy back a lot cheaper if it gets through. Okay, if it starts to get through, then you're obviously preparing for these levels. So what are my AVAX levels? $100 to the first target. That's nearly a 3x from where we are now, and $240 to the next target. Only once we get past this one can I start looking at the higher time frame ones. So for me, guys, these tokens doesn't mean they won't wake up late and do something like that. However, any ones that are not above this, I can't be super bullish on just yet. Like super, it's important that I do take profits on this specific token. Then we look at something like Injective again. Injective, there's the highs, broke through 618, touched 1.618, came back to 618 over here. And again, what I'm looking for now is to actually rally up to the higher level. So my targets over here is again back to the $40 to $50 range, the previous highs, $70 and $93. Those are my targets for Injective. Let's speak about THORChain. THORChain's done well. However, it's not in the bull market just yet. Okay, so if you look at something like THORChain at the moment, this one should go to $14 just to get to the main 618. If it doesn't get through there, I'll TP some out. Okay, as much as it's beautiful and amazing, you got to understand that's got to get through it. If it gets through it, $33, $53, and $73. There's your targets. Let's go look at things like DOGE. Guys, DOGE may not break all-time highs this cycle. Maybe we want it to, and I hope it does, but it might not. Okay, so nonetheless, if you look at where you're buying DOGE right now, I think it's a good investment entry, right? Because even a push to this zone over here, is basically in the region of around 200%, 210%. Okay, so again, this is a token that if we get there, we don't get through there, take some profits, guys. Get out. Because it doesn't mean we're going to those levels yet. We have to break through them. Okay, things like Phantom. Look how far we are. So these tokens are at risk of not breaking all-time highs. They got to get through here first. Okay, which means don't be shy to get out of them here. If they decide to break it and test it, you can get some back in. Okay, but you don't want to waste your time holding a bag of something that can do this and do this. Okay, so that's Phantom over there. Now let's bring a couple of tokens that you guys have brought to me. So I want to show you guys over here. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Sheldon_sniper. And I did a tweet over here. He said, there we go. Friday, I'm trying 10 of your best investment tokens. Okay, and you guys gave me a whole bunch. I see the meme army's out a lot. The memes. I'll help you guys with the memes. I'm not going to say where they're going. However, I will help you guys with tools that you could use possibly on them. I'm not a perfect meme trader. I don't like them so much just because I feel like they're NFTs. I feel like they're going to, screw a bunch of people up. But here we go. There's a whole bunch. So I got KUJI, I got Phantom, I got Cardano. Let's go through these tokens over here and let's go look at them. So here's the first one, KUJI. KUJI only just launched and had its mega push up first, guys. So for me, this was the bull run, short-term bull run, and now it's the bear market. So what I'm expecting here is a little bit of that sideways phase and then start to push up. Okay. Nonetheless, I think KUJI is in a great area to be buying, by the way, as an investor. From there, I'm seeing the push up to the main 618, which is $4. Okay. We get through that. I still think it's a $10 token. However, I do need to get through the zone. So I'm really looking at a 2 to 3x just to up to these levels. Okay, then I got $8 if we get through there, $12, and obviously $17 if we get through. So that's my thoughts on KUJI, guys. $4 is my main target now. I know it's not as exciting because it's not maybe not going to break the highs just yet. However, that's how I got to think. Until we get through there, then I can open my blinkers and say, okay, $8, 12 hours, $12. And again, what I'm doing is we get through this one. I'm sweet. Okay, I'm cool. I'm in it. Amazing. We get to 1.618. I'm getting 30% out of the position to 40%. When we get here, I'll be a total of 70 to 80% out of the position. And by the time we get here, I'll be 95% out of the position. And I'll leave 5% in case it goes more. That's how I ladder out. I ladder out, ladder out, ladder out, ladder out. And guess what? When the token finally pulls back later on, you're going to catch it right at the bottom again and do the exact same thing. Put your fibs and catch it all the way up. So there's the KUJI one. Let's jump to the Cardano army. Cardano, not looking so great. So let's go here and show you guys. Cardano, I don't know if it's going to break all-time highs, guys. I don't know. Right now, however, I can make money. I can make money to the main 618. And that for me is $2. And that's probably my main target for Solana at the moment. No one can sit here and say, oh, it's going to go more. Until we're above $2, I can't think of anything more. Yes, there is a $5. Yes, there's a $8. For now, $2 is the main target. Something like Chainlink, that I also think is still a massive investment opportunity. The main 618 is 35 to 36. I feel this token will break it, but that's the target for now. Once we're through there, my Chainlink targets, my top target is $200. I got $80, $120, and $200. So this might be a really good 10x, over time and things like that. Then I got things like Pendle. Now, this is where it gets a bit different, guys. And I want to explain now. Let me show you how this basically works. Pendle's a new coin now, okay? So you don't have data. So you go to the weekly now, that's all you got. So you can't really do anything. So what it basically means is you need to now be using like a 12-hour or daily, and you need to be tracking it as it goes. So if you are trading new coins, you got to basically track them a little bit more than what you would with a coin that has previous data, okay? So if you jump into something like Pendle now, this thing's just launched. Okay, so let's look at what happened here. Let's paint out the picture. Okay, firstly, the main thing you need is the main momentum line. Okay, that's it, the main one. So if you take the previous lows here, you'll see there's a main momentum line. And every time it goes far from the line, it usually comes back at some point. And that's the areas of where you want to be buying. Every time it does this, right? Sort of thing, until the day it doesn't. Until the day it starts losing the trend, then you're in for a 50, 60, 70% correction. Okay, then what you also have is you got to look at the waves. You got to say, okay, that was a wave. That was a wave. And now we're busy with another wave. So they're waves, right? You got the green team, you got the red team, green team, red team. Okay, so what you do now is you understand, okay, I want to see now, let's say we were here. And let's actually take this away for a second. Boom. Okay, it's gone now. Now you got your coin. And you say, okay, where's this thing going? So what you do now is you got your momentum line in play, and you take your Fibonacci, and you see this high and low, like I just explained it. You're doing the same thing, just on a little bit of a smaller time frame because you don't have previous data. You're taking your Fibonacci from the top to the bottom of this wave, guys. The top to the bottom. How do we know it's the bottom? It will be breaking trend. If it's breaking trend, that should be the bottom. Okay. Then what you do is you take your Fib from the top to the bottom over here, and you get your lines. Okay. Now let me show you what these lines actually do. Now all of a sudden you got your lines, and you say, okay, first thing I needed to do, get past 618. Let's play it out. Okay, broke it. Fantastic. Where are we going to go next? 1.618. Okay, we got to get through it. Okay, we got through it. Where's the next one? 2.618. Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Boom. Okay. Let it just play out. Let it just play out. Let's speed it up. Speed it up. Speed it up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Okay, now we're back. Let's exit to now. Okay, so what did you just see there, guys? You saw that the moment it broke through main 618, we went to 1618, 2618. Where did we top? 3618. So the way it would work for new coins for me is when I see a decent correction on the daily and I see we break into the upside, I would then, as it pumps up, 20% out here, 30% out here, majority of it out there. Then it pulls all the way back down again, okay? All the way back down again. Now you're sitting in some cash. All of a sudden, in that time, remember, you also got RSIs. RSIs will come down, all of these things. Your weekly RSIs you can use as well to help you. Remember, you want your RSIs at the bottom on your weekly charts. Very important, okay? Then the same thing now. Oh, there's the high, there's the low. So let's put in a Fibonacci. What's the first one we're popping our head through now? 0.618. Where's my next targets now? $10, $12, $17. And that's the main trend we must hold. Fantastic. So as we go there, 30% out, 40% out, 50% out, 80% out. By the time we're at 3.618, I'm out majority of the position. So you see that, guys. That's why I like trading a little bit of older coins. But here's another example. You guys asked for Brett. Okay, now we're going a little bit into the memes. The only way you can track memes now is if you look at Brett right now, this thing hasn't had a temporary bear cycle. It hasn't had it. Okay. So it's only but had green, which is very dangerous to buy. Okay. In that sense. However, you also have a main momentum line. So you can see here, there was the initial momentum. We pumped up. We came straight back to the line, straight up again. Okay. So your momentum line is very powerful. However, what you do need later on is right now, all you can do is hold this coin for as long as it holds this trend. For now. Later on, when it starts to do something like this, and then gets ready, then you can take your Fibonacci from the top to the bottom and go see the major levels. So you got to understand, earlier individual tokens are a lot harder to do, but all you got to do is not try predict them. Just put a momentum line in and ride them strong. Here's another one called Opulus. Let's show you guys a coin called Opulus. This is from you guys. Remember, I don't make any of these tokens, guys, or I don't know any of these tokens. So make sure that you have a good understanding. Now, this one's important, guys. This one's very important, okay? These coins that came down 99%, okay, are very likely not to go back to all-time highs, okay? They got smashed in the bear. However, in a bull, they will get a bit of momentum. The only thing is they might not have, especially when it's come down so much, guys. You're looking at a token that was valued at $8 at 16 cents now, and it even went down to 4 cents. You know, all the way from $8 to 4 cents, that's like extremely low. So what you can do on these ones, guys, if you do want to take the bets on these type of ones, is you're going to use a little bit of smaller Fibonacci's. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a fib from the top to the bottom, and then you're going to come in here and you're going to click these ones, 0.236, 0.382, 0.5, and 618. These are smaller fibs now, okay, in that sense. And what it will do is it will give you your levels. So it'll give you an idea of where to TP out. Now, guys, it's very likely this may not get to 618. Okay, so for me, the main safe one is the 236 and the 382 zones over here. And remember, in order for it to get out there, it needs to break the range high. It has to get going in order to move there. I don't want you sitting on rockets that are, or ships that are just sinking the whole time. You got to understand that, okay? So track your trends here. Make sure you're getting them on good trend or breakout, things like that. And if you look at percentages, just here, that's 1,000%. So again, these will be level. We get there, we slow down, we don't want to get through it, take your full profits. We get through it, take a bit more there, and maybe by 618. But it's very likely this coin's not going to go to highs. Okay, so it's important. When you see these coins, look at this. Look how far down this thing has come. Look at this. It's very likely this is GLMR. Okay, what's it? Moon River. It's one of them. Moonbeam, one of them. So here you could see there's two big waves. You see the massive wick. Don't use these wicks, guys. If you see a massive wick here, that was just a crazy launch. That's not real. However, if you look at this wave here, this leg over here, the little bit shorter one, that's the one I would use. So there, from high to low, and again, you maybe have the 618. Okay, but I'd also pop in a few smaller ones. There's the smaller ones. Pop them in. That's where you ladder out of the token. Okay, I don't think these coins are going to go back to all-time highs. They dropped too much, guys. Too much damage for me was done in that time. He has something called Jasmy. There's your levels over there. Jasmy is for people that are asking 7 cents, 20 cents. Those are my targets. Immutable X. Here's another one. This is where I see Immutable X flowing. It's only just coming out of the bear phase now. So I think it's a brilliant investment entry. Plus, there's the trend break over there. But there's my targets. The first target's $6. Let's get through there first. Once we're through there, $15, $24, and $32 when it comes to Immutable X. So, guys, the whole purpose here, and let's see if there's more. And when I'm back in the offices, I'll go through many more of them. But I'm trying to explain to you the concept that you can use. Okay, the concept that you can use. I just see a bunch of memes here, guys. Give me some real project. Like the memes are cool. I'll maybe do like a meme show once a week. We'll see. We'll see. You guys are trying to convince me here. We'll see where we get. But nonetheless, use the techniques. Do you see what this does for you guys? Exit, exit, exit. And every time in history, if you actually exited on it, guys, look at this. You would have exited some Bitcoin in the areas of a little bit at 32, a little bit at 50, and the rest at 65, and you would have been buying back at these levels. You would have accumulated so much more Bitcoin in that time. You would have actually taken profits. You would have had a proper strategy and understanding of what you're doing actually behind you. So for me, that's super powerful. So guys, if you've enjoyed this is a TP show. You can go to all of your charts now and go do this. Use the weekly time frame. If you're on new coins, use the 8-hour, 12-hour, whatever data you can get, and you got to keep getting in and out. That's kind of what you got to do. So just hold. You will become a bag holder and these sort of things. So guys, I'll be back in action maybe on the weekend, but otherwise on Monday, we're back with the trades, back with the competition, back with because I feel the market's going to get fun again, so we can do a lot more shorter time trades. For now, get your damn brain around taking profits and the full strategies behind it. If you like this, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys all on the Monday. But for now, have a good Friday. Drink lots of beer or drink water if you don't drink beer. Be healthy, be fun, spend time with the family, and I'll see you guys all next week. Much love.